As I went to a rental apartment, I took out Iris and placed her on the table. Miraculously, her charger plug is the same as my own phone. Go figure. Now Iris was being charged, and we could discuss what our next move was. I also took off my mask as well. Alright, Iris, what's our next step? First, thanks for letting me charge up. Second, I need to restore as much content in this phone as I'm able to, she replied. As her screen began to load, she stated, I believe that I can recover some of the phone's data. Stand by. Within a few minutes, she said again, Alright, now we can dig through what Heather's been up to. Whatever we find, we'll just find out what happened to her, and you can tap to hold any part of the phone to ask me for help with anything. It's a lot like Siri, you know? Just then, messages, emails, a photo gallery, and music appeared on the home screen. Alright, let's dig. We went through her phone, and, of course, we first went through her messages. I saw some from a group chat only called the UNI group, along with someone named Riley, Ava, Leslie, along with her brothers, Eric and Xander. Names I couldn't recognize. Lastly, this guy named Ethan. Of course, I went through the messages bottom to top, and let me tell you, this Ethan guy, I felt like I wanted to chop his nuts off. Because in the text, Heather mentioned, this piece of shit was cheating on her with a dancer. On her birthday, no less. Asshole. Consider himself lucky that he didn't meet me. But anyways, I looked through the messages from her brothers. Nothing out of place there. Now, before we continue on, a little backstory. Yes, I knew Heather personally, before meeting Barney and the others, before Ghost, before the assault on Discovery Island, before the mercenary business. It was just me, an ordinary boy who loved to play and have fun. Heather and I met at the same school that we went to, and she thought I was pretty funny. We played together, that unbreakable bond. Her brothers, however, her second oldest brother, Eric, he liked me, but her other older brother, Xander, did not. Sadly, at the beginning of middle school, Heather and her family moved to a different state because of her dad's job. And before they left, Heather made me a friendship bracelet, as I did with her, with our initials to each other. She cried, so did I. We hugged, and she kissed me on the cheek. And that was the last time I saw her. Sorry. I guess I had an eyelash in my eye. Anyways, I then went to chat with Ava. There's a bit of suspense there. I'll spare you the boring parts, but Ava mentioned something about her gathering. I then saw a word that sounded familiar. I held on to that word. Iris came up. A Walpurgisnacht. Interesting. Does that word seem familiar to you, Ghost? Iris asked. Yeah, I believe it's German, I said. You are correct. Pretty well informed. In English, it means it's one of the Dutch and German names for the night of the 30th of April. So it's been called because it's the eve of the feast day of Saint Walpurga. Also, many believe it to be the night of a witch's meeting, Iris said. Well, why would Heather be involved with this witch's meeting? She replied. Well, she liked to discover legends about certain things. A while ago, I've saved her recent searches about witchcraft and voodoo rituals. Oh boy, I thought to myself. I knew she liked to bring myths to life, but I mean, Jesus. I then looked at her conversations with Ava and said something about Heather not being herself. Well, I suppose it could mean that through various calculations, Heather's regular activities and choices that she made in her daily life just wasn't what she usually did. Plus, it could be due to the change in her moods ever since breaking up with Ethan. But, again, I'm no doctor, Iris said. As I kept looking through the messages, she spoke up again. Ghost, I believe I found another clue on her whereabouts. Check through her photo gallery, Iris said. Alright, let's see, I thought to myself. We then looked through her photos, which, honestly, I didn't feel comfortable with, but we didn't have much time for that. And just as I scrolled down, I found a disturbing one. It appeared to be a figure wearing all black, holding a knife, standing underneath a spotlight, wearing a red mask of a demon. I thought it did look creepy, and I pressed on the photo. Iris popped up. It seems this photo correlated with a video and a chat thread that Heather had recently deleted. Would you like me to retrieve the data? Yes, do it, I said. Okay. Well, I've successfully restored the chat thread with Heather's contact, Riley. The video should be in the message thread. Alright, let's see, I said. As I was about to see the text with her and Riley, in the text with Leslie, it showed that she received a voice message from her. And as I pressed on the voice message, a weird sound, like someone was saying something, but it sounded like it was muffled, whispering and breathing. Okay, that was odd, I said to Iris. Indeed. I can't even verify who that was, with the contacts Heather has talked about before. Then I looked through the messages with her and Riley. I just kept scrolling down. Riley then mentioned something about a red room. Then it showed Riley sending Heather a clip of a weird video that showed a bloodied up bed in weird writing. Jesus, and here I thought things couldn't get any weirder, I said as I kept scrolling. Iris then piped up again. Ghost, I have just recovered another deleted text under a name called Roz, Iris said. Roz. Well, that's creative, I said sarcastically. I continued to read the messages, and honestly, he sounded like a creep, mentioning that he got her contact from Leslie and that he was going to escort her to the location of the meeting, all this cryptic shit. But I found something off about a text that he said. I held on to the word. Just then Heather's phone began to ring. Her brother Xander. I let it ring for a bit more. Aren't you going to answer? Iris asked. I exhaled and accepted the call. Heather, thank God you answered. Where are you? Eric and I came to this part of town to talk to you. We haven't heard from you in weeks. You're giving our parents a fucking heart attack. Eric screamed into the phone. Eric, I'm not Heather, I said. What? Who the hell are you? Are you sleeping with my sister? I swear to God, I'm gonna... Eric, shut up and listen to me. Meet me at this bar at this location in an hour, okay? I'll text you the address. I texted the location because I knew some of you were going to search this up if I just spat it out. I hung up and got ready. Iris piped up again. By the way you answered him, I assume you know him. Trust me. You have no idea, I said, grabbing the phone and making our way to the bar.